Thanks for joining me again. Over the last 2 weeks since Election Day, I've talked about our areas of potential concerns and impacts on our county and state government, as well as acknowledged the fears and anxieties they were hearing throughout our communities. This week, Governor Moore visited Montgomery County to speak at the annual Committee for Montgomery County breakfast and thoughtfully addressed this very challenging issue at this time.
But when I'm speaking about why Maryland is so prepared and why I am so inspired by the preparedness of this state is because I know the power of the people in this room, and I know the power of the people who collectively are going to make sure that Maryland continues to thrive. I know the power, for example, of our labor partners. I know the power of our friends in the General Assembly. I know the power of all of our tireless leaders in nonprofit organizations and the business community. I know the power of our county council, and I know the power of our remarkable County Executive Marc Elrich. You know, since I've taken office, I've had a chance to work closely with Marc. And I have to tell you, it has been a real joy working with you. When I first, there's an old saying that, I'm a man of my times, but the times just don't know it yet. That's Marc Elrich. Because this has always been a person who's been planning ahead and thinking ahead on things.
I'll be honest, most of us in Montgomery County never thought we'd have to navigate another Trump administration, but here we are. We are anticipating some challenges, some that we've faced before, others will be new. I want you to know that we're trying to anticipate potential problems, and we're aware that our budget situation may change depending on decisions by the incoming administration. We're preparing a budget based on where we sit right now, but everybody should understand that if things change at the federal level and funding dries up, we will have to make changes on the fly. And we know that many people here are worried about possible actions by the federal government, particularly threats of mass deportation, which will have a major impact here. For families and children who built new lives here, there is real danger in being returned to the countries they fled. We intend to do what we can to ensure that these communities are safe, but we're not able to ensure that they won't be deported. Whatever happens at the federal level, we will continue to stand up to hate and intolerance, and we will do what we can to minimize the harm. Leaving aside the impact on people's lives, the impact of mass deportations will be felt across the business sector in our community, and the loss of immigrant communities will impair the operation of many county businesses, and that will impact the lives of everyone here. But Montgomery County will remain Montgomery County, a tolerant, open community that embraces newcomers. We will continue to stand up for the rights and freedoms of all our residents, standing against hate, bigotry, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, homophobia, transphobia, and racism. This is who we are, and this is what we believe. And together we will continue to build a Montgomery County that leads with its values and makes a difference in the lives of its people. And speaking of who we are, this week we are celebrating another significant affordable housing win for the county by breaking ground on the Chimes at North Bethesda. This complex will be home to 163 units, all of which will be considered affordable. The apartments will be a half-mile from the Red Line on Neville Street and will include family-sized units, delivering housing options for residents earning 30 to 80% of area median income. Our county has committed nearly $20 million to the project, which will cost a total of $86 million. We have many partners in this effort, including Montgomery Housing Partnership, Truist Bank, and Amazon. We have also received state and federal help from the Maryland Housing and Community Development and from Freddie Mac. Creating housing that allows working families an opportunity to live here in Montgomery County has been one of my top priorities as county executive. This project will help families who earn too much to qualify for federal housing assistance, but still do not earn enough to afford rents in this county. This project advances equity goals and environmental goals, but most importantly, gives many more working families a way to remain in our county so they are not priced out by the high market rents that are the norm. I encourage you to seek out companies like MHP, and there's more than one of them, at mhppartners.org to find out about future projects that they're working on. This week, Montgomery County announced a new partnership to help expand the use of artificial intelligence. We'll be working with Innovate US to offer our employees free training that will benefit customers and residents. Innovate US has worked with other state and local governments on this training, but we are its largest client. In some ways, the county government can be like the private sector with the use of AI, having the potential to make us all more efficient and effective. However, implementing AI in a government of our size must be taken very seriously and very deliberatively. Although there is no question that AI is ultimately going to revolutionize how many people are going to work, there are also risks that we have to be conscious of and that we take into consideration as we design new uses. In order to implement AI across our government, we must worry about data and privacy concerns with the information that we work with. There are environmental and sustainability impacts of AI in terms of energy usage. The building of data centers and how to power them is another question that governments all across this country are wrestling with. And like all new technologies, there's often fear and frustration with learning and understanding how to adapt to working with it. However, there is much potential for our employees to use these generative AI tools responsibly and ethically to better support our residents. For example, a member of the business team can use AI to quickly organize information from multiple sources into personalized support for a small business owner. In my weekly media briefing, I was joined by the lead for Innovate US, Neil Kleiman, and County's Chief Innovation Officer to talk about the benefits of this partnership.
You have a number of governments, particularly state governments, that are passing down edicts and requirements to use this technology and to use it responsibly. So there's a lot of activity within government to make sense of it, and most of us don't. And so a lot of what these courses do is just provide the basics, a foundation of what is this technology? What does it do? What doesn't it do? Where are the risks involved?
Across the globe are exploring what these tools can be used for. And by putting them directly in the hands of employees and users, we're having them find lots of ways that they can use them. So managers are using it to help them prepare for hard conversations with their employees. The procurement team has put all of their information into one of these tools so that they can more quickly answer questions for businesses who are trying to do work with county government.
I'm really proud of the work our technology department, TEBS, is doing with enterprise-scale AI like Monty 2.0, which is our 311 chatbot. Some of you may already be using it. And I'm excited for all of our employees and what they can do in exploring and experimenting with new tools and ways of getting things done. I want our employees to be able to take advantage of the benefits of generative AI and to see what they can provide in delivering better services to our residents and being a more productive organization. We don't know all the ways to use these tools yet, and we are unleashing our workforce to explore its possibilities and to help shape the future. And they will get sufficient guidance along the way to make sure it's done safely. After Thanksgiving next week, we will celebrate Small Business Saturday. It's a great time to remind everyone to patronize our retail and small businesses throughout our areas. I want to highlight the importance for our economy to shop local and keep our tax revenue here in Montgomery County. Not just the taxes, but also the wages and the spending. A little more than half of the consumers surveyed by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce said they shop with small businesses because they can find unique gifts that aren't available in big traditional retailers. Nevertheless, consumers are more likely to shop online rather than visit a local retailer. Each year, the county tries to highlight some of the wonderful mom and pop businesses open on the Saturday following Thanksgiving. I visited a number of them in previous years talking to owners, and it has been great to hear about the relationships they have with our business team. After I was elected county executive, we developed the Business Center to help local businesses, especially focusing on small business owners in need of guidance to help grow, expand, or to overcome hurdles. I want to make it easier to do business in Montgomery County, and the focus and assistance provided by our Business Center team has allowed many operators to connect to the right resources and find the help they need to succeed. This is the same approach that's being taken on the state level by the Moore administration. The State Office of Small Minority and Women-Owned Business Accounts is now focused on supporting businesses, creating and retaining jobs, and fostering growth. Just this week, Governor Moore announced that Maryland has been named the top state for minority-owned businesses in an analysis done by LendingTree. Maryland earned a top 10 ranking in 3 of 5 lending tree metrics, including the percentage of minority-owned businesses in the state, the ratio of pay relative to all businesses, and the longevity of business operations. The vast majority of businesses in Montgomery County are small businesses, and I hope you'll be able to support Small Business Saturday, finding a local business in your area to fulfill your shopping list. If you're some of the nearly 80 million people expected to leave home for Thanksgiving, I wish you well in your travels. It's supposed to be a record level of travel. AAA expects more people on the road and in the air than ever, surpassing last year's record-breaking travel numbers. Air travel is seeing a resurgence. The 10 busiest travel days in TSA history occurred this year. Lower gas prices are expected to fuel a record number of family road trips, with close to 72 million people expected to drive between Tuesday, November 26th and Monday, December 2nd. Please be patient with your fellow travelers. I hope you get a chance to spend some time with your family and loved one. That's a wrap up for today. I hope you have a great week, and I'll be back again next week.